Welcome. My name is Thomas. I'm here to share in this video a conversation around, do you have what it takes to start and grow a profitable business? Inside this video, I'm going to share some talking points based on my experience, what I come to learn, and what I come to believe is true uh, based on my overall experience as a business owner in the industry of tax preparation and taxation, and being in the retail industry as well, and just learning some things in life that allows you to believe certain things. So all I ask you to do for yourself is to keep open mind like I do. I always keep open mind because that allows me to go revisit some things I might have said no to. And that's the power of keeping an open mind, because it keeps the door open to all the possibilities that may be there for you that you might not be ready to receive yet. And so that's the reason why I had to keep open mind, because I initially say no to a lot of things, but I eventually uh, go back to those things and revisit them because my mind is open to that. The door has been left open to receive something different when it comes to my initial response of no, to looking at why I said no and taking a better look at it again to help me to make a different decision, or maybe the same one. So that's the power of keeping an open mind that I like to do. And so when I ask the question, do you have what it takes to start and grow a profitable business? I'm basically talking to myself. You know what I'm saying? All the things that I share inside my videos are really me talking to myself and hoping other people are listening in who can relate to my journey and to relate what I'm talking about and to relate on what I've been through and what I've learned by living this life as long as I've been blessed to do it. And so if you can identify and some of this stuff makes sense to you, uh, attaboy. But if it doesn't, that's not the case. That's not the point. The point is I'm simply sharing my journey and my story and through videos, and I'm marketing myself and my business through videos, through posts, through articles, through blogs, through all the different social media accounts that I have. And so one of the things I learned back in 21 was, out of the 20 years of being in this industry at that time, uh, in the career industry of tax preparation and taxation, I had never got sick during tax season. But that's my first year in 21 getting sick. And I was down for the whole year. I made very little income because of that. My coaching program made very little money because of that. And so I realized that my number one asset is my health, my emotional health, my mental health, my physical health, my spiritual health. That's my belief. That's my take on it. And so I'm doing a better job of taking better care of myself when it comes to going to the doctors and trying to eat more healthier and trying to start to do some form of exercise. I always want to learn how to swim, and so swimming is one of the things I want to get more involved in as a form of physical fitness for myself. And so those are some of the things I come to learn about myself and that I want to do. Is that as a result of getting sick in 2021, that the number one thing on my list, uh, along with this conversation, is being healthy emotionally, mentally, and physically to be able to go out and start and grow a business is important, because one of the worst things you want to be able to do or try to do is try to live life sick on an emotional level, on a spiritual level, on a mental level. We want to be healthy all around so you can enjoy what life has to bring or what life has out here for you to go get. And it's hard to do that if you're not in your best shape emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically. And so that's the thing I learned in 21 by being sick for the first time during tax season and being down that whole year, is that my income took a very big hit by 85%. And so in 2022, things didn't go the way I wanted them to go, but I kept moving, I kept moving, I kept moving, because it's all about continued progress. You know what I'm saying? Things don't never really go the way you want them to go. So you got to understand that regardless of those things, you can't afford to let yourself give up. You can't afford to let yourself get deterred. You can't afford to let yourself have a pity party. You can't afford to let yourself uh, get down emotionally and mentally to the point where you basically just give up on yourself and you give up on your business. You really can't afford to entertain that type of thinking. And so I do my best to acknowledge what's happening with me and move on, because we must acknowledge what's happening with us in order to move on and do better inside of our lives. Because if we in denial, that's just as worse as anything other thing we can come across uh, dealing with what we're actually dealing with. So when it comes to uh, some of the points I'm talking about, like which I already mentioned, was mental health, mental toughness, emotional toughness, uh, physical, being in physical good condition, uh, spiritually as well, and then the mindset or the state of mind is all connected. It all works together, either for your good or for your bad, based on how you believe. And so I come to believe certain things based on how I live my life, what I've experienced in my life, and what I've learned from those experiences that I share with other people today, especially as relates to me having a business, me having a coaching business where I work with other people, more women than men. I have a premium coaching program which is designed to help women get started, take away all the guesswork, give you a simple path to uh, success. And success is only can be determined really by you. And when I talk about success, I don't automatically talk about it being connected to money. As I was a young person, success was connected to money at that time because that's all I really knew. But as I've grown and lived my life, my definition of success has definitely been changed, where it's not automatically connected to financial success. Success can be anything you deem it to be based on goals, dreams, and accomplishments that you set out to do, that you do successfully to make happen. Like my uncle, he went to college simply to prove to himself he can get a degree, and he did that successfully. He didn't use the degree the better to get a higher paying job, because he worked at the post office where he made great money, and he wasn't going to school for job placement. He was going to school for a personal challenge to himself that he successfully accomplished, and so that was success for him. And so success is determined by each of us individually. And so when it's all said and done, uh, things don't always go the way you want them to go. And regardless of how things go, we must be willing to learn from other people that's already successful, already doing what we want to do, already living the type of life we want to live. We must be willing to learn from them and find out what the things they are doing, and seeing if some of those things are something we can learn to do that's going to help us in our journey called life to be successful, regardless if it's from a personal standpoint or a business standpoint or both. And so for people who are not willing to invest in themselves when it comes to starting a business, that simply means you just don't see it the way you need to see it, because the same people who don't understand how important it is to invest in themselves when it comes to starting a business are the same people who will go to college and get in debt for $40,000 and $50,000 to get a degree that ain't worth the paperwork it's written on. And so that's the ludicrous part about it, is that you'll go to college, you invest all this money in a degree, graduate, and 9 out of 10 won't even get a job in that field. And so we have to rewrite the narrative that's been given us ever since we've been a child, and rewrite our own narrative that fits what we want to do and what we want to become. And only we can determine that. And so going forward today, I'm just grateful to be in a better state of mind, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, psychologically. Because, like I stated earlier, my number one asset is staying healthy. And more and more I stay healthy, the more and more I improve myself in the areas I know I need help in, the better I'll become overall. There's certain things about us that doesn't fit with trying to start and grow a business and acquire success from that. And you know those things without me having to share those things in this video. And so when it comes to, for example, me taking a tax course in 1995, I come to enjoy and having a passion for preparing individual income taxes and helping people do that. I saw how back then that was a nice career move for me, but at the time I wasn't able to pursue that career because I had a drinking problem. And so those are those are the things I'm talking about when it comes to the personal development we need to implement to improve our personal lives that affects our business, because we are the business, regardless of how we try to separate it. And if our personal life is all jacked up, 9 out of 10, our business will be jacked up also eventually, because we are our businesses. And so the things we need to improve on and work on, once we realize what those are and we move towards working on those things and getting better, those things will help us long term when it comes to growing a profitable business for ourselves. And so when it comes to business development, being able to understand that I'm in a service-based industry. So I provide a service. I provide multiple services. I've been in the retail industry as well, just as many years as I've been in the service-based industry. And I have to understand that there's certain aspects of having a business that I'm not familiar with, have no clue about, that I must be willing to either learn for myself or generate enough income to hire someone who can do that particular task inside my business. So when it comes to outsourcing, if you don't want to learn how to keep your own books, then you hire a bookkeeper or you hire an accountant. It's real simple. We don't have to make it difficult than what it really is. But a lot of people don't have the mindset or the state of mind to understand why it's important for you to have a bookkeeper or accountant to keep track of your business, because no one ever explained it to you. No one ever tried to really break it down to you. No one really tried to paint the picture of importance of having this data connected to your business that you can view and see, that's going to help you improve your overall business in all the different areas that the data is going to show you. That's why it's important for that. So the overall gist of starting and growing a profitable business is you being able to improve from a personal level as well as a business level. And the most crucial part of the whole experience of just living life will be how well you react or respond to life based on your emotional and mental and spiritual state of mind. So it's really important to be able to see life and your surroundings in a healthy way, which will allow you to move forward, take action, and be more effective with helping other people, with helping yourself, and with being able to start and grow a successful business. Because based on your dreams and your goals and ambitions, only you can make that happen. Only you can take charge of that. You know, I'm working with people right now who life is showing up in such a way that it's not pleasing, it's frustrating, it's challenging. But I let them know that no matter what's going on, I can't afford to give up. Giving up is not an option. I can't let life show up in a way that's going to cause me to give up, walk away, quit, because the dreams and goals and ambitions I have for my life are much bigger and stronger than anything life has to throw my way. And that's how I really believe in my heart. Because if I didn't believe that way, I would have gave up long time ago when it comes to having a business, because my business life journey has been up and down, up and down, up and down. And so those type of things cause a lot of people to give up a long time ago. Certain circumstances, situations put small businesses out of business, and they never regroup to try to get back in business. You know, when COVID hit in 2020, a lot of people never got off the ground with their business, especially for the people who trying to start their own taxation service. They just never got off the ground. They never took action. And I'm talking about people that already had their credentials set up, where all they had to do was invest in software, register with a third-party bank, and start marketing themselves on some level. They just shut down altogether. I couldn't afford to shut down because my belief system, my goals, my dreams, the things I want for myself and others is too big to let life show up on any level to deter me from giving up on my business. And you got to acquire that type of mindset. You got to acquire that type of thinking. You got to come to believe in that type of way. Right? That way you can persevere the storm. That way, when you keep doing what you need to do, you keep growing and growing and growing in the different areas you need to improve in. You know, we need improvement in certain areas that directly affect our business. And for me, money management was the Achilles heel that I always suffer from. And see, I like to talk about the root cause of the problem and not the surface. A lot of conversations going on in the world have always been surface. I like to distinguish myself by talking about the root cause of what the symptom is. And so until I learn how to manage my money more effectively, for savings, investing, growing my money, and prioritizing the way I spend my money, no matter how much money I ever make, it will mean nothing. I'll still be in the same predicament over and over again until I master how to manage my money more effectively. And that's the case for millions of us, just not me. And I'm not calling out no one, but if you identify with the fact that you have a money management problem like I have, then you understand why you're in the financial predicament you're in, just like I am. And until we get that situation rectified and come to believe and know and understand through some discipline that we have to prioritize the way we spend our money. We got to be able to prioritize how we invest our money, how we save our money. And until we do those things, our life from a financial standpoint will never come to be the way we would like them to be. And that's just my belief in it. And so if you kind of understand that for yourself, then the best thing you can do in 2022 is work on managing the money that we blessed to make in a better way. Write down the list of our priorities when it comes to what we're going to spend our money on. Because, see, all the years I've been in the business, it's 4 years in a row where me and my partner made over $250,000. And by May, we were broke. And that's because we both were lousy when it came to managing the money that the business made. And it's real simple. If you don't track your money, if you ain't following your money, if you're not paying attention to what you're spending your money on, eventually it runs out. And you look up and wonder where it all go. And you have nothing to show for it. And that pattern just repeats itself over and over again until I get a hold on doing something different when it comes to managing the money that I'm blessed to make. And so that's my reality. That's something I know I got to work on and fix going forward. Because until I fix that, until I get on top of that, until I improve that situation for myself, I'll be singing the same old song over and over again. And people will get tired of hearing it because they'll say, what's wrong with him? He's been talking about the same situation for 5, 7, 10 years. There's got to be something wrong with him. If he know what the problem is, but he don't know how to go out there and get it fixed. And so my goal is to master how I manage my money going forward. And the vital part of that will be acquiring some discipline. It takes discipline to put away $5,000 inside an investment account and not touch it. It takes discipline not to go touch that when times get hard. It takes discipline not to go touch that when money gets slow. And so discipline is really the essence of what I have to be able to acquire in my life that's going to help me do a better job of managing the money that I've been making all these years, but doing a lousy job of spending it. And that's just my reality that I got to work on and that I got to fix. And I know that's my truth. I know until I do good with that, I can make $1 million by the end of the month or by the end of this year. But if my money management skills and discipline don't get to where they need to be, I'll be broke again in January of 2023, talking about the same old thing. And that's just how simple it is. It ain't rocket science. And so when I ask the question, do you have what it takes to start and grow a profitable business? I'm basically talking to myself. I have to ask myself these questions. And I have to be able to get honest with myself and be able to come up with some solutions and some answers and some strategies on what I'm going to do to be able to rectify the personal and business issues I have that's affecting me being able to grow and have a profitable, successful business for myself. Because for a lot of us, making money, earning money is not really the issue. It's again, how well do I prioritize my money in the certain areas that I need to come to understand I need to do that with. When it comes to paying your rent, are you paying your rent on time? Or are you paying it late, knowing you got the money to pay it on time, but you want to do something different, and so you pay your rent late instead of paying it on time? Do you take a certain percentage of your money and put it in a savings account and don't touch it and use it for emergency situations? Or do you go in it every time your right now money gets low? These are the questions and the things I had to ask myself and do a better job of it. I told my wife, if we don't do a better job of managing the money God bless us to make, we'll never be able to go where we want to go and do what we want to do and be free to be able to do those things on a comfortable basis, because we'll always be in the hole trying to get out. When it's all said and done, my heart's desire is to help people start and grow a successful business. And only you can determine what that success is for you and what that looks like for you. And it doesn't always link to money. I'll see you in my next video.